Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Tonight we are looking at SBE stock, which is apparently going to turn into ChargePoint in a minute, which is going to be something cool to see, and I'm going to be explaining why this is influential. So we have another merger apparently going on with the stock. This is something like what we saw with Helion. If you didn't watch that video, please do check it out. We cover Helion quite a lot on the channel. So just before I do start off the video, I think that you are going to gain a lot of good information from this in my personal opinion. Obviously I am no financial advisor, so don't take anything I say in this video as facts, but I think you are going to learn a lot and see a lot of opinions and know a lot more to make more educated decisions. So please do leave a like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Can you be one of the people to help us get there? So now when we look at the 1 day on the stock, we can see we are fairly neutral. This is actually grey, which implies it's completely neutral. Going out to 5 day, we can see a huge pump at this period here from a price of around $10.44 all the way up to $13.98. Now we are currently at a high of $14.25. And this becomes a lot more apparent when we get out to things like the 1 month and the 6 month. We can see the stock really start to pump up high. And when we think about reasoning for this, we can look at some reasons here, which are basically with the ChargePoint merger set to go place. So if we look on this Investor Place website, as I have shown in previous videos, it does seem to be quite a nice source for news. We can see here ChargePoint SPAC merger. So EV company ChargePoint is apparently going to go public via SBE SPAC. So if you don't know what this is, it's basically going to be a merger between the two companies, and this could apparently put the value over 2 billion, which would obviously have an adverse effect on the share price, pumping it even higher. This is another reason, well, this is basically the main reason why this company is hyped, because ChargePoint is not on the market yet, and I'm going to be explaining why when it does come onto the market, this could be a stock which is going to skyrocket well into the future, potentially a long hold stock. I'm not a financial advisor, I've said this before, but it could potentially be one of those stocks to buy and hold for many, many years, and I'm going to be explaining why, so please do watch all the way till the end. So just to read a little bit about the article, obviously you can go check it out yourself, it's on investorplace.com. We can have a look. Basically, ChargePoint is an electric vehicle charging company, and this is obviously going to be a very lucrative market into the future, so I'm going to be explaining a little bit more about that right now. So just to go on ChargePoint's website itself, this is the main reason why this SBE stock is going to pump if this merger does happen. So what this really is it's an electric vehicle charging company. So for example, with Tesla, you can use a Tesla supercharger, but with basically all cars, you can use a ChargePoint charger, which is very clever, because as we can imagine in the future years, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more later in the video, electric car sales are going to shoot up into the future. It's not just going to be electric car sales, is it? It's going to be things like electric vans, electric trucks, electric lorries, electric buses, things like this, and these are all going to need charging at some point. So when we look into this, you will see how this is going to be a very lucrative market in the future. So if we look down here, we can see this company's apparently already done 82.3 million charges of electric vehicles, and bear in mind this is not actually a lot of chargers. I mean, it does seem like it, but let's say an electric vehicle needs charging once or twice every week. I'm not even sure how long it does take. Let's just say that it does, for example. I'm not sure. I'm probably wrong on that one because I don't know a lot about electric vehicles. You can imagine they need charging quite a lot. So one electric vehicle might get charged a couple of 100 times in a year. But this is going to expand, so we could see over 1 billion plus sales or chargers in a year. So as we can imagine, ChargePoint, they actually offer those little charging stands if you haven't seen them before. And obviously this is going to be a very lucrative market because people are going to need to charge electric vehicles. So I'm going to talk more about this in the future. Let's just say ChargePoint are going to charge a price for you to do this. Charge. I said charge a lot in that sentence. But yeah, when we look out on our graph, or on our chart at London here, London just, biggest city in England, so I decided we're going to choose this. ChargePoint stations are pretty much everywhere, so we can see there's some here, some down here, some down here, they're everywhere really. You can just go out and see them all over. They're even in my home city, and I have not noticed them before, but I do think I have walked past some, so I'm going to check whether they are ChargePoint in the future or not. Very interesting. Anyway, so this just gives a full-scale view of ChargePoint and where their chargers are. They're everywhere, and this is just England. They're in America as well. They're basically all over. So in England, America, and these are some great markets for electric car sales into the future. So what I'm going to talk about now is electric vehicle sales and how this is going to impact ChargePoint stock price if it does go into this merger, which it most likely will. So here we are on February UK 2020, basically vehicle reports and what types of vehicles are on the road. So we could obviously look into America for this. We can look into different countries. If we look down to below, we can see countries like Sweden, Norway, obviously a lot of other European countries. I'm sure you could find this information about your country relatively easily. So if we just have a look here to February 2020, we can see here we have had not very, so let's just quickly have a quick glimpse at the whole thing. We can see this graph is dominated by petrol. Petrol is 60% of all car sales in the UK, February 2020. Looking out here, we can have a look. Diesel is actually next. So diesel is something we're trying to phase out in the UK, but diesel cars are still very popular. They are everywhere in this country. So diesel cars are very popular as well. So petrol, diesel, obviously going to be our main thing. Another thing which a lot of brands such as Toyota, for example, are pushing at the minute are plug-in hybrids and hybrids in general. So a lot of hybrids are being sold. So we can see that the main sales are going for electric last, hybrid second, and then diesel, then petrol. So we can see even diesel with a large market share just goes to show people aren't yet choosing hybrids and electric cars. But something to note is that in the future, I believe it is 2030 in Europe and the UK, we are looking to turn all cars into electric. So what will this mean? It will mean that we won't be using petrol and diesel vehicles as much anymore, if at all. I think that the only vehicles which will be petrol and diesel are going to be the older cars which are already on the road. So for example, if you've got a classic car right now and it might use a different type of fuel to what's made now, fair enough, you can still drive that car on the road. But what does this really mean for us? What this means is that in the future we can see electric car sales go up as all cars will be electric, and this means that a lot of people will have electric cars. Looking out to this graph on Norway, we can see a lot of vehicles are actually EVs, and this is what the graph is going to look like in the future for what I believe the United Kingdom and the United States. So what this means is a lot more people will be charging said electric cars, and with that comes more money for the company as more people go to ChargePoint stations. Like I said, if you're in with Tesla or something like that, you could potentially use a Tesla charger, but Tesla chargers aren't everywhere. I mean, they are good, but let's just think about it as well. So if all cars are going to be electric, that means that companies, let's just use examples, Mercedes-Benz or Volkswagen or BMW, all these car manufacturers are also going to be electric cars in the future. And not everyone is going to pick to drive a Tesla. Fair enough, I am not the biggest fan of a Tesla. I mean, ask yourself realistically, Tesla Model S, quite a luxurious car, but would you rather drive a Rolls-Royce or a electric Tesla? So you got electric Rolls-Royce or electric Tesla. I'm sure a lot of people are going to choose a Rolls-Royce, obviously. So for that reason, I believe that all electric cars are going to need charging at some point when they all do become electric, and this is where a company like ChargePoint could really come in and sweep up profits, and this is why this could potentially be a stock to watch as the electric revolution comes round and a lot more people choose and are forced to drive electric cars. So I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you did, do smash the like button, check out any of the other stock analysis on the channel. I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Goodbye for now.